Corruption is a cankerworm that has eaten deep into the fabrics of our society. Many people have defined the word corruption in different ways. On The Eagle today, we shall be taking a look at the real meaning of the word corruption and its negative effect on the society. Hello, and thank you for joining us on the program. My name is Aisha Gambari. With me on the program,
I am Aisha Mohammed. Welcome to another interesting edition of the program.
The World Bank defined corruption as the abuse of public office for private gains. Public offices are abused for private gains when an official accepts, edicts, or extorts a bribe. It is also abused when private agents actively offer bribes to circumvent public policies and processes for competitive advantage and profit. Our reporters were on the streets of Abuja metropolis to find out from respondents what constitutes a corrupt act and what are the effects of this act on the society. Please stay tuned.
Corruption is a term whose real meaning covers a wide range of misguided and illegal conduct, ranging from misuse of entrusted funds and power for private gain. It may also include theft, fraud, nepotism, abuse of power, or illegal conversion of state properties. In many countries of the world, especially in the developing countries, the menace of corruption is evident everywhere. Many people perpetrate the crime and try to cover up, or better still, escape being called to justice. In Nigeria, the effect of corruption has left a devastating effect on every share of the country's economy, political, and social system. Differentiating between acts that connote corruption has been a topic of discussion in many fora. We try to ask some Nigerians what really they understand by the word corruption.
Imagine a father who gave birth to, who pregnanted a woman is corrupt. The semen of that corruption is what that father took to the child. And the money they use in doing the covenant naming is a stolen money, so corruption starts from there. The money they use in paying the child school fees is corrupted money, because most of this corruption, so it's already an inbuilt thing in the Nigerian child, except God come himself to help Nigeria. Nigeria is already in disarray. Corruption is not something of today. It has become part of blood syndrome.
Corruption is any act or activity outside due process.
Illegally diverting what is meant for the public, for your own personal use.
My own understanding, something that is meant for everybody, but one person come and just take it, or something assigned for something, and instead of using that money to do that thing, you divert it to your private pocket.
Corruption is about being immoral, doing the wrong thing when you know you're supposed to do the right thing, and doing what you're not supposed to do just to benefit yourself. That's corruption.
Corruption, I think, it's when one mismanages a particular thing that is given for him to manage. When it is being mismanaged, I call it corruption.
Corruption is when someone divert or make use of what is meant for the public, or in that environment that is meant for everybody that's supposed to benefit. Then one person now kind of divert it to his own personal use.
The impact of corruption on developing countries cannot be overemphasized. In a system with corruption, there is no quality of life or services. To gain access to those items that make life comfortable to live means you have to pay for them. This is seen not only in the rural areas, but also in major cities, in the urban centers, where poor infrastructures have since decayed. Corruption in developing countries like Africa also continues to be one of the greatest factors of poverty and underdevelopment, even as the continent is endowed with prized natural resources. Some respondents speak about the devastating effects of corruption on the society.
It does affect most people here in Nigeria. One, the road. The road is supposed to be, the infrastructure. They're supposed to be in perfect condition. But because one leader somewhere squanders all the money, it can't be done. Thereby, we are all affected. I'm affected. Many other people are really, yes.
It affects everybody.
Okay, in what way?
Look at what is happening in the petroleum sector now. It is assumed that those few corrupt elements are holding the country at ransom by a kind of dictating when they give us fuel, and all the rest of them. Look at what happened between one house of rep, what is $10 and Co, all those saga. They import, they say the subsidy, they import fuel, and we heard that after importing, they collect money from government for subsidy, and at the end of the day, either repatriate those products and bring them back again for us, thereby making money for themselves and impoverishing, suffering common Nigerians.
Apart from the government and anti-graft agencies' efforts at eradicating corruption, the citizens also have a role to play. Some respondents also speak on how the scourge can be totally eradicated.
The citizens that had allowed this corruption to thrive, but this issue that initially the problem of this country has had to do with leadership, which so many political philosophers like the late Chinua Achebe also said it, that the problem about this country is all about leadership. But at the time, personally, I was working and found access to an information that was telling me that it's all about followership. It's all about active citizenship. It's all about educated citizenship. So, by the time the citizens are active, by the time we are alive, I think the issue of corruption will not be a major issue. Even if actually it's a global phenomenon, it's not only in this country, it's happening everywhere. But what we are praying is that the at least need to reduce to its barest minimum. You cannot enforce favoritism or nepotism and other things, but let it be at its minimum, barest minimum.
Actually, a school is the greatest and the most formidable entrance into the society. A school, anything, any idea institutionalized in a school can go a long way to right the wrongs in the society. So if corruption is made part and parcel of the school curriculum, it will be a welcome idea, because teachers in schools have the ability, they create the society. Every individual that enters into the society through school pass through teachers. So if this is made as part of the curriculum of schools, it will be a welcome idea, and the implementation of it will not cost government anything.
Let the system be fair. Let the system be just. Let the system celebrate hard working, integrity, probity, honesty. Then and only then we can, tackle corruption headlong.
For the general society, there should be massive awareness campaign about it, because some people that are indulged in corruption and corrupt practices may not even know that what they are doing is injurious to their own persons and the society as a whole. So the government should, through the arms already in place, bring out campaign that will sensitize people on the need to stay away from corrupt practices.
For the fight against corruption to be won, all hands must be on deck. Nigeria is a great country, and it is our responsibility to make it greater.
It is important for Nigerians to realize that they have to buy into the fight against corruption. We should no longer sit back and fold our hands waiting for the anti-graft agencies to wage the war alone. Corruption affects everyone. We must rise up to face the challenges posed by this monster. Nigeria will be a better place if we all come together. with one voice.
I totally support that call. Rise up to kill corruption before corruption kills our country. Next is our court update segment as the prosecuting witness in the ongoing trial of Rita Ofili Ajimogobia and Godwin Obla SAN before Justice O.H. Oshodi of the Lagos State High Court sitting in Ikeja told the court how Ofili Ajimogobia lied to evade investigators of the anti-graft agency. Here is Amina Kaowa with more details.
Lawal Abdullahi, an operative of the EFCC and who is the investigating officer of the case, told the court that Ajimogobia lied by falsely claiming she was admitted in the hospital. He also narrated how she got several millions of naira from a company named Aklike Oil and Gas Limited and from a lawyer, Godwin Obala, SAN. He narrated how he put a call to her on October 19, 2016 at about 7:16 p.m. and told her she was expected at the commission, but she said she was sick and on admission at Gold Cross Hospital located at 17B, Bodila Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. In his testimony, Abdullahi said, and I quote, "She asked if I will be coming there, and I said no." Being suspicious of her claim, after 30 minutes, myself and about 3 other operatives drove down to the hospital to confirm. I personally met the receptionist and informed her that I was there to visit Honorable Justice Rita Ofili Ajimogobia, and she replied that they were expecting her. I asked if she means that the judge is not at the hospital. She told me that she just received a call from her boss that Ofili Ajimogobia will soon be at the hospital. We inquired and got the list of all the patients that were on admission on that day, as well as the previous night, but her name was not on the list. I put another call to her and asked which hospital she was referring to, and she said Gold Cross Hospital on Bodila Road, and then I told her we are there, but she's not there. She asked, "Oh, you are there?" and hung up the phone. Thereafter, she refused to respond to all calls made to her. He also revealed that Justice Ajimogobia perverted justice in the trial of the former NIMASA Director General, Raymond Omoseyi, before her due to the fact that Godwin Obala, SCN, who was an external lawyer with the EFCC and was assigned to be the prosecutor of the case, is a close friend to the first defendant, a fact that he did not disclose to the EFCC. He said in the course of investigation, it was shown that there was communication between the first defendant and the second defendant, Godwin Obla. Obla was found to have paid the sum of 5 million naira into the account of Nigel and Car Life PLC, a company belonging to the first defendant, Ofili Ajimogobia. The prosecution witness told the court that he interrogated the second defendant, Godwin Obala, on the purpose for the money paid to Ajimogobia. When I asked Obala the reason for the payment, he said the 5 million naira was meant for supply of iron rods from Ajimogobia. Lowell told the court. From investigation, according to the prosecution witness, the defendant could not satisfactorily give any reason for the payment of 5 million naira into Ajimogobia's account. Justice Oshodi adjourned the matter to November 10, 2017 for continuation of trial. Amina Kawa reporting for The Eagle.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation, and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Thank you for staying tuned. The program is The Eagle, coming to you from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. You too can be part of this program by joining us on our social media portals at Official EFCC. Moving on, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has reaffirmed the determination of the federal government to apprehend and deter perpetrators of corruption in order to achieve sustainable development in Nigeria.
Osinbajo stated this while declaring open a 2-day capacity workshop on October 25, 2017, organized by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in collaboration with National Judicial Institute, NJI, for justices, judges, prosecutors, and other stakeholders in the judicial system at the National Judicial Institute Muhammad Bello Center, Jabi, Abuja. Our correspondent is standing by with the details. Over to you.
The workshop, which is the first ever organized, was tagged Emerging Trends in Investigation and Prosecution of Economic and Financial Crimes. It was designed to help in building a team-based, non-adversarial, collaborative justice system that works and is beneficial to all stakeholders. At the opening ceremony, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo described corruption as a cancer which may be terminal if not checked. He lamented the adverse implications the cankerworm is having on education, healthcare, social services, infrastructure, and indeed quality of life of citizens. He said, corruption fight is a cardinal focus of the present administration, and government is poised to tame the monster that is ravaging our economy and causing untold hardship to its citizens. As part of the anti-corruption strategy, Professor Osinbajo said government is re-equipping the prosecution teams, and part of the expected judicial reforms is to dedicate some specific courts to the trial of corruption cases. He urged Nigerians to join forces with the government in tackling the monster by urging them to come together as patriotic citizens to rescue the nation from the shackles of corruption.
There's no question at all that corruption is our nation's single greatest challenge. Indeed, the notion that security was a more serious challenge was exploded when in the last administration it became clear that the escalation of the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast was on account of the fact that billions of dollars allotted to the purchase of arms was cynically embezzled by senior military and civilian government officials. The reason why Nigeria built no new roads or no new infrastructure in the past 6 or 7 years, despite earnings from oil in excess of $100 a barrel, is largely because of corruption. In the last administration, 2 weeks before elections, cash in excess of 100 billion naira and over $250 million was released in a few days, ostensibly for security purposes. The aggregate sum released was more than some states earned in a whole year.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onoge, in his keynote address, described the theme of the workshop as apt and in line with the current realities in modes of investigation and prosecution of corruption cases in Nigeria. Onoge, who is also the chairman, Board of Governors, NGI, identified the role of the judiciary and the EFCC as vital in the fight against corruption. He said, the judiciary is an important stakeholder which has a crucial role to play in ensuring that sustainable solutions to the mounting legal challenges to the success of the fight against corruption are sustained. He added that the workshop will bring to fore the challenges faced by the Commission as well as proffer solutions and expose stakeholders to global best practices in the investigation and prosecution of financial crimes cases. While expressing optimism that the war against corruption can be won in Nigeria, the CJN said the coming into effect of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and the recent designation of special courts to handle corruption cases, Nigerians are assured of enduring success in the fight against corruption in the country.
The theme is tailored to address pertinent issues confronting the Commission in a bid to strengthen it towards achieving the core objective. I must say that the timing for this collaborative workshop couldn't have been better than now. It further complements my recent directives to all heads of court to compile and forward to the National Judicial Council, NJC, comprehensive list of all corruption and financial crime cases being handled by various courts and to designate special courts to handle these cases. My lords, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, there is no gainsaying that the role of the Judiciary and the Economic and Financial Crime Commission are vital in the fight against corruption in Nigeria.
He, however, warned against over-sensational reporting of corruption cases by the media, which he said is often prejudicial to the integrity of judges involved in such cases. In her welcome address, the Administrator, National Judicial Institute, Justice RPI Bozimo, commended the initiative of the organizers of the workshop, which she said could not have come at a better time than now. The workshop, she opined, was organized in fulfillment of the mandate of the Institute as outlined under Section 3, Subsection 1 of the National Judicial Institute Act, Cap 55, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, which approves that the Institute shall serve as the principal focal point of judicial activities relating to the promotion of efficiency, uniformity and improvement in the quality of judicial services in the superior and inferior courts, while calling on justices and judges to ensure proper adjudication and resolution of lingering cases pertaining to seizure, forfeiture of assets and money laundering. Bozino said that in order to sustain public confidence in the judiciary, judges must be proactive by not allowing technicalities to stand in the way of substantive justice, as the judiciary is saddled with the responsibility of upholding the rule of law by interpreting, construing and applying the relevant laws.
The objectives and functions of the Institute, therefore, is to provide continuing education for all categories of judicial officers and their supporting staff by undertaking, organizing, conducting, and facilitating study courses, lectures, seminars, workshops, conferences, and other programs related to judicial education.
She thanked the EFCC for collaborating with the NJI, urging participants to pay rapt attention, contribute meaningfully, and participate actively at the sessions. In his remark, Ibrahim Magu, acting chairman of the EFCC, appreciated the support of the presidency, the National Assembly, and the judiciary in simplifying the task of hosting the program. The EFCC boss said there is no dispute that corruption is a cankerworm bedeviling the socio-economic life of our country and called for a common consensus in tackling it.
I want to say that the EFCC has never had it as good as we do today as far as impactful judicial reforms are concerned. Within a very short time, the anti-corruption war has started feeling the positive effect of the reforms instituted under the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Walter Ologun.
He thanked the administrator of NJI for all the support and extended appreciation to resource persons and participants for agreeing to share their wealth of experience, believing that they would all leave with a renewed desire and zeal towards combating corruption.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I say na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, but we fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, but we kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh, women from every sector, make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call, we no see. I say na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Niger, now we all know.
And with that report, we wrap it up on this week's edition of the program. Please don't forget to send your feedback to us via the eagle at efccnigeria.org. And if you have missed any part of this program, log on to our YouTube platform via youtube.com/official EFCC.
You had also searched for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or officialefcc@gmail.com. Don't forget to also like our page on facebook.com/official EFCC or follow us on Twitter @official EFCC. I am Aisha Muhammad. Thank you for watching.
And my name is Aisha Gambari. Keep a date with us again next week and on same station for another interesting package. God bless Nigeria. Bye.